Hello? Hello? Oh, here's someone. Hello. Let's talk about will. Will. If you're standing toe to toe with an aggressor, or maybe you're the aggressor and you're standing toe to toe with the defender, who will win? Is it the bigger, stronger person that'll win? Is it the smarter person that'll win? Is it the more savage, dirty person? Dirty playing, dirty books, dirty, the kind of person that brings a gun to a knife fight? Who will win? Who has the will to win? The will to do whatever it takes? When I had my company, my L&D Trucking, when Mother and I made that company, the reason why it was successful was because of my will to make it successful. And then once I got out of the picture as far as being able to do anything with that and trusted it to someone else, they did not have the will. And they began to destroy my company anyway. They weren't the only ones that got in on the pie of tearing me apart from whatever I had to nothing. Now, my will be done because they did not stop me from being happy. They did not stop me from being successful. They have not stopped me from continuing to press myself and teach myself each and every day about something that I didn't know, or something that I should have known or should know, be aware of. So when a situation comes up later, I have foreknowledge and can make a choice and exercise my will to get out of the situation. I'll give you another example. We had the neighbors from hell a few years ago. These kids, they were kids, partied all the time, drank loud music, rap music, fucking tearing holes in their walls at the house that they were renting. As you can imagine, this did not go unchecked by me. And progressively, my checks come up to this one point where, being in this room, I was hearing, because my wife's windows were open, the kitchen window was open, and I had heard this man insult my wife and attack my wife verbally from outside. And then he said, "Where's your fucking husband?" or something like that. Well, I was on my way. I was on my way from the moment that I heard somebody disrespect my wife. Why? Because it is my will that my wife be respected by everybody. Period. You can disagree with her, you can not like her, you can do whatever, but you don't disrespect her, because that is my will. And I went outside, and this dude come up to my steps, and I came down my steps. Who was going to win this fight? Him or I? Didn't really matter to me at the moment, because I had the will to do whatever it took. And if that meant I was going to get my ass beat, because at the time I couldn't talk or move very well, or the young man was going to go to the hospital, those were the two choices. That was either way was good with me. And so I stepped into this man. You know, the personal space? It is my will that I'm going to win this fight. And you're going to respect my wife. Period. I stepped into this man, nose to nose, and I pushed my nose against his, and I pushed him backwards back into his own yard, nose to nose. And I looked through him, and I saw he was scared. And I stood there. And he backed up off my nose, took a swing at me, and I didn't flinch. Because my will be done. I will win this, and you will respect my wife. Needless to say, that was the end of the situation. The kid's fear had overcome him, and he figured out that he did not have the will to go against me and win. So he went against me and lost. Now let's talk about the will of the people of the United States. Doesn't matter where you live in this country, we are all American citizens. You're born here, you're an American citizen, period. All the other rubbish aside. But if you live in Oregon, and I live in Texas, and you live in New York, I am outnumbered because of New York and Oregon. These are big cultural areas with the most, and I'm not really sure about the Oregon part, so I may be speaking out of turn, but with the most people in them, in these areas. Washington, Portland, Oregon, New York City, all that stuff. Florida even. A lot of people are there. The majority of the people are in these cities. And so when you come to rural Texas, maybe 100,000 of us to several million of y'all. But because of the Electoral College, we each have more say down here to account for our missing populace to help compete what the East and West Coast want. Will of the people be done. And the will of the people spoke when they elected Donald Trump. And this man has endeavored to do every single thing that he has told us that he was going to do. And he is fighting the deep state, and he's fighting the media, and he's fighting the fickle Americans who don't like, won't like, no matter what you do. Like, no matter what you do. Fickle. Sloshy. Their opinion kind of molds to the moment, and it changes moment by moment. But one thing that doesn't change is Donald Trump's will to make this happen. Dude's 70 some odd years old, billionaire. He didn't need this. He's doing this for us, for the American people. And he's doing it because the deep state was about ready to squash us and the rest of the world very readily and lead us all into a nuclear war, World War III, which was supposed to be the end of the old and the beginning of whatever was left. So the conviction that Donald Trump has to do these things, backed up by his will, tells me, because I have already shared with you that I understand how will works, and if my will is to get this done, no matter what the cost, it's going to get done. So understanding that about will, and looking at Donald Trump and his will to make this happen, I tell y'all, relax, enjoy life, because America is not going to go anywhere for a while. At least not until the deep state get back into control. Which, if we do happen to flush out the swamp enough, if not all, then they'll never come back. But it also takes will of the people to be knowledgeable and informative on the situation based in facts and realities. I know your emotions are important to you. My emotions are important to me. But emotions are temporary and they're subjective. They're not detached from the situation and looking at facts. They're involved substantively into the situation, and all that really matters to the person at the time is their feelings. I know a lot of people who made choices based on feelings, and they regret it. And these people today that are making these choices because of their feelings will also regret it. Not because anything bad will happen to them, but because feelings change, and logic and reason tend to expose how foolish people were when following their feelings. Love each other, be good to each other. Smile. Smile at a few strangers today. Just smile. Don't expect anything back. And maybe wave. Wave at a couple of people. Never waved at them before, just wave at them. See what happens. Shed goodness in your life. There's darkness and negativity too much. Peace.